Hello, this is Untapped Libraries, a place on the internet where guests blab about their magic faves. Call me Neale.
You can call me Vinny.
How are you doing today, Vinny? What's new with you?
I'm good. That was a really awkward pause.
I know. I don't know.
What happened there?
I thought you were going to go. And
You thought I was going to say more.
I
had nothing else.
I have nothing else to do. I just came back from whale watching.
Yes.
Feeling very zen.
You saw whales.
Technically.
What does that mean, technically? You saw whales.
They were very far away.
They were distant. Okay, this is what you said to me. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you still saw them.
They were belugas, and they're
Okay.
very bright. So unmistakable.
What does that mean? They were very bright.
Well, they're white. So in the sun, they really stand out.
Okay. Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting. That seems terrible for predation. I guess I don't know what eats a beluga. Not much.
I mean, I don't know. They're underwater.
Orcas from the other coast.
Orcas are...
They're west coast.
They're a-holes.
They can be pretty vicious.
Yeah.
The jerks of the whale. Are they whales? No, I think they're sharks. No, they're whales. They're
not,
mammals.
They're not sharks. They're mammals.
They're mammals.
Yeah.
Okay. But you didn't see any orcas, obviously.
No, that would be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool. Next time.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't even know if they're in around Quebec.
No, they're west coast. You wouldn't see one around here. But I mean, it sounds like a good weekend.
Yeah, very, very relaxing. Are you ready for our repeating segment?
Oh,
do you have an untapped gem this week?
Yeah, so our untapped gem segment where we talk about rarely seen cards that seem like they should be good, or they're gems that are untapped for playing.
Maybe slip by, or
I do
you don't
have
see
one.
them all the time.
Yeah, you want me to start this week?
Go for it.
All right. So my untapped gem is a little card. It's an equipment, and it's red, and I use it. And I'm like, this is a good card, especially good in certain decks. So it's Chainsaw.
Oh, yeah.
So Chainsaw, a 1 and a red, artifact equipment. When Chainsaw enters, it deals 3 damage to one target creature. Great. Amazing right away. When one or more creatures die, put a rev counter on Chainsaw. Equipped creature gets plus X plus 0, where X is the number of rev counters on it. Equip 3. So the equip cost is a little high, but even if it didn't do anything else, like a red and 1 for 3 damage to a target is pretty valuable. It's pretty good.
Not bad. Creature only, but still.
Yes. You can't go face, or you can't hit a planeswalker, I suppose.
It's like a sorcery lightning strike with a bunch upside.
Yeah. And then in a deck where you have like a bunch of artifacts, it's great. It just sits around. It counts for affinity. It's good in equipment decks. There's a whole bunch of extra stuff. And I'm like, oh, I used to forget about this card existing.
Yeah, it's like 50 cents.
Yeah. Well,
it's got some cool alternate arts too.
It does have some fun alternate arts. How do you feel about those TV alternate arts?
I think they're great.
Duskmourn?
I like them.
Yeah.
I like the colors in them. I like what's going on. I have no complaints about there being a cathode ray tube TV
in your Magic the Gathering.
No, it's fine. We're so far past it.
Yeah, I think
it's totally
years
fine.
ago it might have bothered me, but at this point it's like, anything goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. All right. Well, that's my little untapped gem.
All right. I have an untapped gem. It is also red.
Okay.
It's an oldie from Mercadian Masks.
Oh, I love Mercadian Masks.
Mercadia's Downfall.
Oh, yes.
It's one of the few combat tricks that I play.
Uh-huh.
Because the boost it can give you is, especially nowadays, can be really, really crazy. So it's a 2 and a red for an instant. Each attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each non-basic land defending player control. So you have to play this, I guess, after attacks have been declared.
Wait, repeat it? What does it do?
So it's an instant.
Yes.
Each attacking creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn for each non-basic land defending player controls.
Yeah. So it has to be in the combat phase.
It has to
because otherwise there are no attacking or defending creatures.
Yeah, exactly. So you have to at least have declared an attack.
Yeah.
But like nowadays, people will play mostly non-basic lands. So I feel like
Commander, that's going to be a big boost. And for what, a red and 2?
Yeah, and it's each attacking creature. So you could really easily give +6 to each creature.
Yeah.
The only thing that's a little weird is if you're attacking one player who has all basics and one player who has no basics.
It's a bit asymmetric.
It's a bit asymmetric, but I've definitely had this give boosts of 4 or 5 per creature. And in a go wide deck,
For sure.
can do a lot. Doesn't give evasion. That would be the one thing that would really put it over the top.
Right. But if you're going wide, in theory, they're not all getting blocked.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I also had another thing I wanted to talk to you about.
Yeah, please, hit me.
I have maybe 12, 15 decks. I've never actually really counted.
Okay.
I think I actually want to downsize some decks. So I've been like thinking about which decks do I cut.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I want to modify one of my decks for our friend Sean and give it to him.
Okay. And he's finding out through this podcast right
Maybe.
now.
Maybe. I mean, this will be out in 2 weeks from now, so maybe he'll know before now, but maybe he won't. He made a comment earlier, which was he wanted a deck which would change the game in some way even after he leaves the game.
Mm-hmm.
So he wanted to be able to like do a bunch of stuff, die, and then
everyone has to deal with the aftermath.
Everyone still has to deal with the aftermath, which is not
it's not easy to do.
Easy.
No. Because when you die in a multiplayer game, all of your permanents, all of your effects, they are all removed from board.
Exactly. So I have 2 ideas for this. I want to bounce it off of you to see if you maybe had more. So the first idea that I had was a very little known card called Aeon Engine. Have you ever heard of this card?
I remember this name, but I don't know what it does.
It's a 5 mana artifact. It enters tapped. You can tap it, exile it, reverse the game's turn order.
Okay.
Really weird. I don't think there's any other card that does this.
Does that say like for the rest of the game? Is that implied that it's for the rest of the game or for this turn?
I believe it's permanent. Maybe someone can correct me. I basically see it as this really weird extra turn spell where you have this untapped, the next person goes, during their turn, you activate it, then you get a turn after them. So it's like this very weird extra turn spell.
Oh, it just reverses the turn order. So, I see. So instead of going clockwise, it goes counterclockwise.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's my first idea.
Yeah. And I guess that stays.
I think so. I don't know. It's so weird that I am not really sure.
Right. But then when you have 2 people left, it doesn't really do anything.
No, it would do nothing.
Right.
But I think his idea is to be like,
that's interesting.
Potentially gone.
Sure.
So my other idea is creature exchange.
Yes.
Again, correct me if I'm wrong. I've never actually looked into the rules on this. If I take 2 different opponents, 2 different creatures, swap them, I believe ownership stays even after you leave.
Control stays.
Ownership
stays. Never changes.
Right. Okay. Anyways, that's the other idea. I want to put it by you, see if maybe you had another...
No, those are good.
Maybe our listeners, if they have any ideas on ways you can affect the game that last even after you leave.
Yeah, these are really good. Yeah, exchanging control, reversing the turn order, so going instead of clockwise, counterclockwise. Yeah, nothing's coming immediately to mind, but
it's a really hard one.
Yeah, I like it. This is really fun. I mean, there's all sorts of other stuff like Warp World. Right, because that will stay even after you're gone. Like it just completely changes the board state. But also that's like a weird kind of people do tricks with like tokens and all sorts of stuff.
I've never actually played against it. All I hear is that it's kind of annoying.
It's super annoying because it's kind of like Farewell. You're playing like a whole other game.
Yeah,
I think the idea behind this deck is going to be kind of annoying, anyways.
Yeah, I'm just trying to thread the needle where it's
right.
A little like
a little bit fun, a little bit annoying.
Yeah, reversing the turn order. It's not like, oh my gosh, it's totally different now. Maybe someone gets hosed because like they had to wait for 3 more people to go until they get their turn or whatever. But I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. If anyone else out there has any ideas,
feel free to email us untappedlibraries@gmail.com. Send us your ideas.
Hit us up on Blue Sky.
Yeah. That's a really fun idea. I'm going to give it a think, and if I come up with anything, I'll let you know on our next episode.
Yeah. It's also, the deck I'm trying to think of giving him is blue-green. So I'm also like...
blue-green.
I guess I
mean, blue for exchange, for sure.
Blue is already... Yeah, that's exactly what I was thinking.
Yeah. Okay. All right. This is good. I like it.
All right, should we say hello to our guests?
Yeah, let's bring our guest in. Today's guest is a friend of mine I've known for a while. They've gotten into magic. Can't wait to talk to them about it. It's Fiona. Let's welcome Fiona Howitt to the show. Thanks for coming, Fiona.
Hi, thanks for having me. I'm very excited to show my lack of knowledge about magic, but I'm very keen, which I think makes up for half of the stuff, right? That's what happens at these podcasts.
Yeah.
Yeah. What you make it up with enthusiasm.
Yes.
Yeah, just bluff. Just
You see, I do that, and then everyone else around the table goes, "That's not how the card works," and I go, "Shoot." So
I really thought I could get away with
I
that.
find like magic is like Taskmaster. It goes, all the information's on the card, and then until the information isn't on the card, and it's
That's
so
right.
annoying.
It is
Yeah.
annoying because not all of the information is on the card. The old, magic expression that reading the card explains the card is so bunkum.
Yeah.
There's no way that's always true.
yeah, read Chains of Mephistopheles to me and
Tell me that it's on the card.
tell me that's on the card. Yeah.
Fiona, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourselves? Give us a little intro.
Sure. My name's Fiona. As you can tell from the accent, I'm originally from the UK, and over the last 2 years, I have moved to the US, and as a result, I've had to go and make friends again.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the ways we've done that is my partner's really into magic. He plays competitive Commander, goes to all the various tournaments, and says words like 3-0 and 0-3 and all the good stuff like that. And we have a group of friends who all play competitive Commander, but all of the partners, so the wags, the wives and girlfriends, all get together, and we do a very casual Commander pod most Thursdays. And it's been really lovely to play with other fan-presenting people, and also their partners as well, who come and help. But it's all very, again, casual, and it's really friendly. And my big thing is that, as Neil was saying, you've got many decks. I've got way too many precons myself, and I was like, I need to learn how to play this, not to get good, but just to be like, I can't stick to the same 2 decks I always do, because everyone goes, oh, okay, and they know how to beat me.
Right.
So
Oh, you're right.
my New Year's resolution this year was to, every time I play Commander, play a different precon deck. And so far, I felt like I've actually learned something. I've actually understood how the game works, to the point where I think the last time I played, I won, but I couldn't believe it. I was like, there must be some mistake, and everyone goes, no,
Someone's made
I
an
think
error.
you've done it. I don't think I'd ever go into any other formats. Commander seems to be the safe space just now.
Sure.
But I've been enjoying it, and making friends along the way.
So you're about 2 years in.
Roughly 2
Right.
years in. My first pre-release was the Outlaws at Thunder Junction,
Yeah.
which was the first time, because we'd done drafts before. My partner, we'd done big drafts at his house, and obviously I was like, oh, so this must be what the pre-release is like. Go there, completely not what it's like. I start to panic because I don't know how to make my own decks. And I was like, Outlaws of Thunder Junction, the Cowboys, I guess. But then Duskmorn came, and I was like,
Yeah.
I'm a big horror girly. I love the
Right.
idea of a big old house. I was just in. That's how I sort of had my sort of stay, as it came for the haunted house, stayed for the magic. But my real sort of interest peaked with the deck we're going to talk about today was that they did the Doctor Who Commander decks, and I am a massive Doctor Who fan. And for, I think it was either an anniversary or birthday, my partner was very generous and bought me all 4 decks. And
Oh, nice.
I think, obviously, now we have all these different IPs, right? We've got the Final Fantasy, we've got Ninja Turtles, all that sort of stuff. And so I'm like, who's playing these decks? Oh my God, Doctor Who? I'm fully in. So that's how they got me in.
Right.
Those decks are the ones I sort of really cherish, because it was sort of like something I could really understand, like I could connect to it a lot more than some of the other decks and some of the other series that have come out.
That's it.
So in the magic world, so you may already know this, these other intellectual properties being brought in is fairly new. It's been, 3 years-ish? 4 years?
Well, the first one was The Walking Dead from Secret Lair.
Yeah, that one, which
wow.
was, when was that, 2021?
Yeah, so it's 5 years.
5 years-ish,
Yeah. So it is relatively new,
Relatively new. And now we're getting SpongeBob, we're getting Garfield, we're getting The Office. And there's a bit of, especially at first, there was a lot of resistance to it. The old school people who've been playing for 25 years were like, no, this isn't magic. Now I feel like we've gone to a place where people are more accepting.
I think it's slowly turning. I don't know if it's acceptance versus resignation.
Yeah.
Like I think some people are just like resigned, like this is happening
Yeah.
whether we want it or not. And so you have to either embrace it or leave. And I'm sure some people did, but I'm not that much of a purist to be like, oh.
Yeah, it's a silly game. With
Yeah, it is a
cards.
silly game. Like
it's-
Camelot is a silly place.
Yeah, it's like oh no, I can only cast wizards and dragons, and it's all.
But I mean, our guest today, Fiona, you're like a clear example of someone who's like, oh yeah, this is something that interests me. It's drawn me into the game, and now I play it. Now, maybe not because of it, but like it
was definitely a big stepping stone. Yeah.
Yeah. Can you say more about like what is it about recognizing the world, the characters, the IP, the fandom of it? Yeah, what is it about that draws you?
So initially I was like, oh, that's very cool. Like, again, I'm like, oh, the artwork's really interesting. But then when I was looking at the cards, I was like, oh, well, that's from this episode. And then you read the cards and you're like, oh, that actually is that's connected to what the thing. And so from then on, I was like, oh, I can actually understand what the card does because of watching the episode. Obviously, all the Doctor cards have something very special, and they have the partner mechanic, so you can have two of them, depending on which ones you put together. Obviously, you get different combos. And I was like, oh, but that makes sense because, Billy Piper's Rose character does this, and the David Tennant one does that, and I can put these together, and Tom Baker does this. And so I actually found it really easy because I've obviously, over the last God knows how many years, I've watched so much Doctor Who. And don't get me wrong, Doctor Who is variable in its quality. Yes. But at least I can remember, like, oh gosh, that's this character from this episode. And so that's how I could connect with it and start understanding the games. It's like playing a board game, right? Once you have that memorable experience of like, oh, that time I did this cool move. I didn't realise really that Magic the Gathering, ultimately, you're playing your own card game, someone else is doing it their own game, and you've got two other people, and then you're like, oh, well, your card game interfered with mine. I don't know how to stop that. I don't even understand how you did that. Whereas I'm like, well, I can play my little game, and then if it can affect other people's games, then that's great. I might die, but at least I know how my game worked. Whereas often I was, like I said, I just remember that pre-release, sat across a 10-year-old who was just like doing some really cool things, and I'm like, I think you've got me. I'm not entirely sure. I'm just going to assume and just keep my pride and not ask you if we got it right or not. But I do want to say, I do agree about the IP stuff, because like, as someone who plays a lot of role-playing games, obviously Wizard of the Coast, and certainly D&D, which is also into magic and various ways, and we've got like the Baldur's Gate stuff. I think it's really interesting now how like D&D is very merch heavy. Like you got to have all these things, and here's all the dice, and there's a TV show, there's a movie, and all these things. And it gets to a point you're like, you can kind of miss the point of the game and like what is interesting about it. And again, no disrespect for people who are like, oh, cool, Final Fantasy cards, I want to play that. But it did feel like we're going to sell these commander packs and no one's going to play them. So I think there's all these different ways. It's like, yes, I guess it's an access in, but I think nowadays people are like, that shirt, the colour, I like that colour, I will have that, and I'll have that on as a poster, and I'll have this and this and this to signify that I love that thing. Whether or not it translates or transitions into, you now play this game. I think it changes and is variable for sure.
Yeah, and as someone, I've watched a bunch of Doctor Who, like the old Doctor Who, pre-10th Doctor. Growing up, it was like on TV, and like I'd see old episodes and like, oh, this is great, I love it, it's so much fun as a kid. And then watching it relaunch with 10th Doctor and all of the rest of the stuff, great time. And it kind of fell off it. I guess Matt Smith was probably the last Doctor I watched like every episode, and then I kind of tuned in and out. So I'm pretty familiar with Doctor Who, but I don't think Neale is as familiar.
Zero. I know the theme song, banger.
Right, banger,
yeah,
absolutely.
Great. Good start.
That's the start, that's the end.
Great.
Well, technically the theme song changes between seasons because they needed different for different Doctors. It's still the same tune.
It's the same tune, but
still
it's
Cindy,
remixed.
I assume.
Yeah. The latest one with Ncuti Gatwa, it sounded like someone was on a piano on fire, as it was just really dramatic. I loved it, but everyone else was like, "Oh, it doesn't feel. It's not the same."
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone's got an opinion.
Everyone's a critic, So
okay, silly question. You have all 4 commander decks. Is there any moment from the show that's not represented in the cards that should definitely be?
Oh, now that is a great question. Because there was a secret lair which added Ncuti Gatwa's Doctor and a few other things from the later series. Because that was the thing. A lot of the stuff, it came out just before Ncuti's season came. So the 15 Doctors show started, and it had sort of promised there'd be spoilers. And I think for me, I just want more femme-presenting like characters, like Jodie Whittaker, the 13th Doctor, I think. That's why I'm going to get cancelled. She had obviously a good tenure, and I think I just want more like strong cards. Like Donna Noble was one of my favourite companions. The shouty, loud ginger woman who's getting married, bookended by 2 marriages, we always say. What I liked about her was that she was really strong and bold. I wanted more cards around her, and because she had a big impact on the show about making choices that the Doctor didn't. So I think it's just stuff like that. I'd like to see more, not necessarily like a character or anything like that, but more maybe sorcery cards or instant speed cards, which were like, here is that moment encapsulated, because those are the poignant bits where the Doctor isn't perfect, isn't the clever man in the box, but like is shown that he is alien, or the companions are the ones that save the day. Like those bits for me are what is good writing and really stick with me. So stuff like that would be what it is. I can't think of any like come to mind personally, but like they cover all the newest series, and usually a lot of Tennant. Everyone loves Tennant, I guess. But yeah, those are the things that come to mind.
That's great. Well, I guess we should get to the deck itself that you've picked for us. So it's Davros, Dalek Creator, as the commander.
Yes, Masters of Evil.
Yes.
So why this deck and why this commander?
So I love this deck. This is the easiest out of the 4 decks, I would say, because it doesn't have a partner mechanic, so you can either choose Davros or Missy, who's the other commander for this deck. And it's great because everyone else gets to fight, and you just sit back and be very evil and temple fingers, essentially. The big thing about this deck, and I'm sure other decks have it, usually these cards have something called a villainous choice, whereby you something happens on the field and you're like, oh, well, this bad thing happened. Well, tell you what, the players have a villainous choice. Either I get something or you lose something. Right. I like the theatricals of that. It feels, again, very Doctor Who, like a big monologue, and I just like that idea of every time this happens, you're going to have to keep making it again. And on top of that, you have a lot of cards that create myriad and being able to remove legendary status from things. So suddenly you might be making those choices a lot.
Right.
And suddenly it just cascades into stuff. And I can just build up my little robot army of either Daleks or Cybermen and just wait patiently as presumably people will attack me, but because of certain things, they have to make those choices. And I like the slow build of that. It just feels very thematic as a result.
I think this is a pretty fun looking deck, even without knowing kind of like how it works. I'm unfamiliar with this until you shared the deck list with us. I hadn't really seen it before, but I do love a deck that's just basically, here are all the masters, here's this Dalek, here's the Cyberman. And in the show, they would not get along. Any 3 of these kind of parties would not be like, oh yeah, let's team up.
Oh, the Cybermen and the Daleks are not on the same side.
Oh, they hate each other, yeah.
They hate each other. Okay. Oh, there's a big scene where they insult each other in the beginning of the new series. Cybermen are better at dying. It's just my favourite line of all of Daleks. Yeah.
Yeah,
they're good at insulting each other.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
All right, so why don't we read the commander
Yeah,
first?
let's start
because
there.
that is a good way of getting an idea of what the deck does. This is a precon, essentially unmodified, right?
Correct. Yes.
Great.
All right, so we have Davros, Dalek Creator, for, I was going to say a gray, a blue, a black, and a red. It's a 3/4 legendary artifact creature, alien scientist, has menace, pretty good start.
Yep.
At the beginning of your end step, create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace if an opponent has lost 3 or more life this turn.
Yep.
Then each opponent who lost 3 or more life this turn faces a villainous choice.
Aha.
You draw a card, or that player discards a card. So that gives you a good idea of roughly what the deck is trying to do.
So he's 3/4, and he has a menace, so he's hard to block. So he swings, someone's losing 3 life.
Yep.
Then at the end, you're creating a 3/3 artifact creature token who also has a menace, who then can subsequently attack someone else and continue the cycle of villainous choices. Have I got that right?
Yep, you pretty much got it nailed on the head. There are other cards, obviously, that can give Daleks or a haste. There's definitely one in there that's flying as well. So, of course, that's really frightening as well. And yeah, the token artifact creatures of Daleks, they're free freeze as well. So eventually you can just build up and then just be throwing Daleks left, right, and centre at people. So as long as you have something on the battlefield first that is doing that damage before Davros comes out, because people go, "Oh, I see what you're doing there. Let's get rid of Davros." And you're like, "No, leave him alone. He's just an alien scientist in his lab. Leave him alone."
I mean, he's in. Is that his lab?
He's in his Dalek throne.
Are you ready to?
Dalek throne. Okay.
Yeah, he's in his little Dalek throne on the Dalek planet, essentially. Yeah.
Oh yeah, what is? I need to look it up.
Oh, you got to look it up now. Yeah.
I'm completely lost, except for the magic.
Skaro, there you go. It's something like Davros or Skaro backwards, you know. So yes, Skaro. Because the story was there was a bunch of this alien race who needed to be saved, and Davros created a way for them to be saved, which was the Dalek race. And of course, Daleks are just bad. They get stripped of all their emotion and put in these sort of salt and pepper shakers.
That's right. There are brains in there.
There are brains in there, but they don't like anything that's not Dalek, including other Daleks from other factions. So, because, you know, eventually you get the newer Daleks, and they're like, you meet an older Dalek, well, we don't like each other, even though they are for the same principles.
Can the newer Daleks climb stairs, or is that still...
They fly.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, the new ones can.
The new ones can. That was the old joke.
Yeah, well, I remember, because I guess I went to these Comic-Con stuff, Sylvester McCoy, there's like The Remembrance of the Daleks, which is a very short serial where we did see the first ever Dalek flying, and he said he remembered, like, on the day, you know, watching this huge big, like, salt pepper thing going up the stairs, and like five or six burly men pulling it up on the other side, and just like there's lots of swearing, so they had to take out all the audio from it because it's such a heavy thing.
Amazing.
So now you can't escape by going up the stairs. They can fly. They can move about.
And so the commander in the 99, the other commander, Missy, is also in there, and so she is 3 gray, blue, black, red. Legendary creature, Time Lord Rogue. And when another non-artifact creature dies, so not quite synergistic with the Daleks, return it to the battlefield under your control, face down and tapped, and it becomes a 2/2 Cyberman artifact creature. So it does become an artifact creature. And then at the beginning of your end step, each opponent faces a villainous choice. Each artifact creature you control deals 1 damage to that opponent, which can be quite a lot, it seems, in this deck. Or you draw a card and chaos ensues.
Wait,
now,
what?
Does chaos ensues mean something, or is it just flavor?
I think it's flavor. I'm not sure. I just do it every so often when I play Missy, and no one says anything. So I assume it is just a flavor of something.
I think it's a flavor thing. It's a great bit of flavor.
Hey, Editor Neale here. Just want to say Chaos Ensues is definitely not flavor text. This was something from Plane Chase, which we were apparently all unaware of. Every plane card has a chaos ability. When chaos ensues, the chaos ability of the active playing card is triggered. That's what it is. We were confused. Thank you.
But I do think it's like Taskmaster, everything is on the card. I'm like, yeah, but what is chaos ensues?
Does that mean something? What's happening?
What's it mean?
But this is great. So basically, you're just pumping out a ton of artifact creatures and making people make terrible choices.
Yeah. Well, and again, with Missy, it's very thematic because Cybermen take over and upgrade people in the show later on. And certainly the scene that's depicted in Missy, you can see Cybermen coming out of graves because that's what they do. So the idea that these creatures are dying on the battlefield, they come under my control, fantastic. And there's another Cyberman in here, Ashad, the lone Cyberman, that has a way to, like, again, I think it's you can sacrifice a creature with 2 or less power to gain more stuff. Cybermen, you can just start sacrificing them because they're 2/2 as well. So it's again, I will say this, I'm not a strategy person at all, but suddenly I'm like, these cards fit together. And slowly the little neurons in my brain start to make sense of,
like
of
a
this
Dalek.
game as a result. Yeah, exactly. Oh no.
It's working on you.
Damn.
This seems like a pretty fun deck to do. So the number one choices you're making people make are probably Davros' choice, which is either they have to you draw a card or that player discards a card. When you're making them make that choice, what are they usually picking?
Usually they discard cards. To be honest, something that I've not been able to get right with this deck yet is because you need to get the mana out first, right? Because obviously both of these commanders are, pretty expensive. And obviously then if someone targets Davros and then you've got another 2, etc. But so I need to get that out first. So they're willing to discard stuff. They do try and get me to draw stuff just because obviously by the end of my turn I've got to discard down a little bit. But usually I'm pretty good at if I've got spells or something like that, I'm very good at getting stuff out that I need to and holding on stuff. I have ended up with no hand, which obviously is bad at times. I'm like, well, they know what I'm going to do.
Just sit there.
Yeah, which is fine. But the key thing about this deck that I've learned is like stuff like Auton Soldier and Cyberman Squadron, which are the two most expensive cards, I want to say. They add Myriad to things.
Right.
So suddenly you start like throwing one of these cards out, then suddenly they're going to have more of it, so it feels like an army. And then one of the other cards on top of that, one of the 4 master cards, so the big villain in Doctor Who, one of them gets rid of this idea of legendary status, and also the idea of like those myriad effects going away at the end of the turn. So suddenly you can attack, say if you were attacking with your whatever Dalek that has myriad, and then you keep them for next turn, and then if they attack again, they're going to myriad again. So suddenly you're going to have overrun with Daleks or Cybermen or whatever you choose, which I bloody love.
So is that the Master Multiplied?
It is the Master Multiplied as well. And again,
I love that card. It's so cool.
That image as well comes from a part where the Master rejigs everyone's DNA to become him. And so I'm like, they're going, that makes total sense that this card would do this. So yeah, so instantly I'm like, it happens because of this episode.
Yes, he's a 4/3 for 6 mana for gray, a black, and a red. He has Myriad, and the legend rule doesn't apply to creature tokens you control. And triggered abilities you control can't cause you to sacrifice or exile creature tokens you control. So that means every time you myriad, you would normally exile or sacrifice. I can't remember at the end of
either or
combat
I think,
or
I think
turn.
it's sacrifice.
But you don't have to sacrifice them, so you can just get more and more and more and more masters multiplied.
Yep.
Oh, it's exile
Exactly.
the tokens. Not
Exile.
sacrifice.
Okay. Is it end of turn or end of combat?
End of turn.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he's just
End of combat. I got it wrong again.
So
Exile the token at end of combat.
So he goes exponential because next turn those will
Yes.
have myriad, and then it just keeps
On and
going.
on
You
they
just
go.
go more and more and more. Again, it's this idea of spreading, the Master's influence is spreading, which is great.
That's great.
Again,
thematically.
very thematic. But I have to get the notepad out. When the one time that happened, I got very excited, and then everyone was like, "We're just gonna blasphemous act that." And
Board
I'm like,
wipe, yeah,
"Oh
yeah.
no!"
Blasphemous act. Come on.
Ugh. Always the way.
And so, what are some of your favorite, other than the ones you've mentioned so far, what are some of your other favorite, like maybe non-creature cards to play?
Oh, Hunted by the Family is one. It's a 5 gray, 2 water. You choose up to 4 target creatures you don't control. For each of them, that creature's controller faces a villainous choice. That creature either becomes a 1/1 white human creature and loses all abilities, or you create a token that's a copy of that. So again, goes back to the TV show where this family comes and replaces people. And that and then starts on their own agenda again, like an alien invasion in general. And I just everything about them, like, well, you either don't get the cool creature, or I get the cool creature as well, So I do think that's quite fun. And then there's the other one, a Wound Reflection. I know this is around elsewhere.
Yeah.
5 grey, 1 black. At the beginning of each step, each opponent loses life equal to the life they lost this turn.
Yes.
And it's just a great image of like the Master and Missy. So, spoiler, it's the same person, just different generations, like with their own weapons against each other. And everything about it is just really, it's a horrible card because it happens. It's just, I just like that idea of like now we have a timer, because I'm also one of those people who goes, I'm really tired now, let's play this card in the game quickly.
I've been cutting board wipes like Blasphemous Acts because I want the game to end, and I'd rather lose a hour and a half long game than win a 3 hour long game.
Correct.
One of my other favourite creature cards, though, is the Cult of Skaro, which, and one of my things, I know you spoke about Dustmourn in a previous segment, but I really like the Endless Punishment commander for that. Again, another, the moth of that is great. And what I like about it, and it inspired me with this one as well, is just, I love it when it's just random. Whatever happens, it's random. Sometimes everyone has these big plans, and you can tell people going for all these combos, and that's really great. It comes back to my turn. I forgot what I was doing. I'm very bad, and I have to pay attention. So it's something like this, I'm like, well, I'll just roll and see what happens when it attacks. I kind of like, again, it's that chaotic, like, Daleks go like, well, we're just going to do this now. No, you betrayed me. We'll back at you, So here it has these 4 different things that can happen at random. every time it attacks, and I kind of like that. It's like Vial Smasher in Dustmon, where you just point and then they'll get damage.
Right.
I love that. I love anything random, because then I don't have to worry about it, and then I'm like, oh, it's just the fault of the die, or I'm so sorry.
It's not your
you know.
fault.
It's not your fault. It's just the die that rolled it. You know?
Yeah.
It's the universe that hates you.
Yeah.
Just to read Cult of Scar really quickly. 1 gray, blue, black, red. Legendary artifact creature Dalek. When it attacks, choose one at random. +1/+1 on each artifact creature you control. Draw 2 cards. Create a 3/3 black Dalek artifact creature token with menace. Or each opponent loses 4 life. And it's a 4/4. So every time it attacks, one of these things is going to happen. And it's never your fault.
Yeah, it's never my fault.
It's never your fault. Great. I love it.
So I have a question. Usually we have people on the show who have, a lot of them have been playing Magic for years or decades, and it's really nice to have a new player on to get their perspective on things. One of the things that we love about Magic is that people get different things from Magic. Some people play it super competitively. Some people play it to goof around. One of my favorite things is building decks. That's what I like to do. I build more than I actually play. Do you have any interest in like modifying this deck to suit you, or do you just see it as like a finished thing? It's got all the Doctor Who things in it. It's like perfect as it is, and you're just happy to play it.
It's a really good question, because I do have the secret layers with like the 15th Doctor and a couple of the other things. I do think to myself, I could just try and work out how to do like a good, from all the Doctor Who commanders, like can I do a good deck of that? But my fear is that, because again, I'm not knowledgeable about these things, and again, I'm trying to work out the synergy stuff, is that, again, it's that sort of like where I'll play the card and all the partners of the wags go like, interesting, and they don't, to be fair to them, they always go, can I give you some feedback when you have a moment? They're very polite about it, and I go, oh. So I currently have no interest in building stuff, but I will say my partner's very good at going like, hey, this card, if you substitute it for this card, this will happen, but then he'll leave it at that, because he's definitely someone that builds a lot and thinks about things and the synergy of stuff. He's definitely on Magic Arena way more than I am, so it's one of those things where I'm like, once I get my head around it, it's, in a year's time, I come back and I'm like, I built so many decks. It's just, I can see it going both ways. But right now, I'm just there going like, I think once I've won one game of each of my precons, and I'm like, I've finally evolved into a casual commander player.
I think what's amazing is, and it's true, our guests are typically people with like a ton of experience, and so I kind of want to ask you, like, what are some of like the speed bumps that you have to kind of overcome to like, because it feels like this is an intimidating game to someone who's never played it before, because it's like, all right, you're gonna play this game, all right, here are the game pieces, it's tens of thousands of cards, and there are thousands of rules, and each card will break them and have its own set of rules, and each card that you play changes how the game is played almost entirely, and so it can be quite, I think, intimidating for new players.
Yeah, I think like the biggest speed bump I had was the legendary rule, because it's not on the cards, that you can only have like if you're copying a creature card, it's like if it's got legendary in the title or whatever, and you're like, wait, that doesn't seem fair. So yeah, that was the big one that again I have to keep being reminded of constantly. And stuff like and that seems so silly, but vigilance, knowing not to twist. I'm just there going like, my partner every so often goes and turns it back for me, and I'm like, well, thank you. But I think I am very lucky that we found a pod of friends, because I think that was the thing, is that we went to play at the store a few times, and my partner, we were like, oh, we'll all shuffle around, and I got put with some very lovely people, but they brought, there's definitely, I remember one guy goes, I don't know how this deck plays, and I just saw so many proxies, so many this, and I'm just there going like, well, I'm not going to have a fun time, just because I'm sure it was a good deck, but I'm just there going like, I am barely reading my card right now because of all the pressure. It was interesting because the guys at the game store, when they all were talking about competitive, and they were saying like, our girlfriends and our partners, they're all getting into it, and like, well, we want to create a safe space for them. That's not necessarily the game store, because what happens at the game store is that there's a big group of wonderful people there that are always asking each other questions or know so much already. So sometimes it feels very intimidating, especially if you're femme presenting and you're on the outside and you're not very good anyway. So then just to go around to someone's house and be very chill about it. Like, our games take hours, like, because we're all chatting at the same time. We did have to have a timer put onto our, because we're doing the small talk, and then somebody eventually was like, okay, we have to end the games by like 9:30, so that we can all go home and be rested for work the next day. So
you need like a little chess timer or something like that.
Yeah, well, no joke, because bless her, her name's Gillian. She's so lovely, but when she gets talking about her story, we have to make sure it's not on her turn. We have to, you know, it's like, come on. But yeah, like it's been, I feel like that initial bit where the first like 6 months we were at the game store, and I was like, I don't think this is for me. And then we had the 2 events of Dustmourn, and then our friends saying like, hey, we're going to have a cool hangout where all of our partners can meet each other. And of course we all met each other, and like, this is amazing. And all the guys were like, phew, all right, well, we can now all go do competitive events together, because the girls get to, you know, meet together. And I am, you know, ramming it up for effect, but it was so nice to meet people. And also the other ladies at the casual night, they play all sorts of different decks. So there was like Bloomburrow, there was a dinosaur deck which constantly stomped us, but it felt really fun. And then when, you know, I bring you know, the Daleks out, or I bring out Valgavoth, the small one, everyone goes, oh god, and everyone else has to be challenged as well. So no one ever feels salty or anything like that. And then we do have a moment when we're missing a player, so one of our partners has to step in, and we go straight. Yeah, we're like, no, it's our space, you know, and it's great. It to be fair, it's all good fun, but it's so interesting for them to go like, okay, I'm going to get targeted a lot, so I'm going to have to change my game plan. And often we found it that our friend Alex, at his lowest point, when he's at 1 hit point, sometimes he comes back and he kills us all. We're like, how does this happen? The power of friendship and women are supposed to be stronger than this, you know?
The patriarchy
stuff. I think we've managed to get through those initial, like you said, scaries and overwhelmed stuff, through the power of friendship, and just through, like, you know what? And you know, there's no pressure to play every week. Like I said, some people sit out and do their crafts, whatever. It's just a nice thing to do at somebody else's house. That's, again, something that we're all interested in.
Yeah.
And we all collect cards together. So like I said, Gillian, she loves food token cards. Okay. So we find a special one, we'll go and give that to her, and she gets very excited and puts it in her little binder.
I think there is something really valuable about a group of people all learning together versus like someone who's very good teaching a bunch of newer people. You're more willing to make a mistake with someone else who's also making the same mistakes or similar mistakes. Like it's making me think of Neale and I have gotten into pickleball lately, because we've reached that age, I guess. And so rather than taking lessons with some expert, we just go to a court and then bumble around together and have a good time doing it. Yeah. And it's great. Whereas if there was someone who was like a really good player of pickleball, I would probably not want to necessarily learn with them.
Yeah, I've also purposefully not looked into pickleball strategy, how to be better at pickleball, pickleball techniques. Right. I'm just like, I just want to go and enjoy it, and I don't want to have, you know, like, not every hobby has to be like optimized and not every hobby needs an Etsy store, and sometimes it's just nice to do something for the sake of doing it.
Be rubbish at it.
Be willing to not be good at something. I think this is, you know, as you get older, you're like, I'm happy enjoying the activity for the sake of the activity, and not necessarily for the aim of, like, you know, I must do well at this. Success is the goal.
Yeah.
100%.
And one of the things I also really like about, you were talking about competitive Commander, or CEDH. I love the fact that it's like a competitive format built on like a derpy casual format.
Right.
And to me, that has a lot of appeal to it, that it's like I almost didn't want them to make a bracket 5. You don't need to know about the brackets. I don't want to bring it up, but it basically is a way of like classifying the level of your deck. I almost didn't want them to make a version 5, because I like that aspect of it, that it's built on this casual, fun time, goofy way to play Magic. But people are getting really sweaty about it, and good for them.
My our friend Tanner, who was the person that started our little pod, he's been, because again, where we are, in the Midwest. It's very far from me. We're not in a big city or anything like that, so there's not many game stops we can go to or game shops we can go to. So he's been starting up doing commander, competitive commander like events every a couple of months, and they are like they're getting bigger and bigger. Like people are coming from all over the state, which is very exciting.
That's cool.
But it's one of those things where I am going, I will never get into it at this stage because again, if it's once every couple of months, people are like, we need to make the most of it, and again. They get to chat about all their strategy. They get to look at the cool cards and do swaps. And I'm like, you know what? I'm glad they get to. You know, it's nice that people have friends, and me and the girls can go and have a you know and go for a drink and watch some terrible show and a craft and talk about drama. You know, all that sort of thing. We have our own separate ways to have fun.
I'm curious to know if a certain moment will come for you where you play against another deck and you see a card and you go, oh my God, that would be so fun in my deck. And then you go out and you buy it and you put it in. I'm curious to know if that'll ever happen, or does it have to be Doctor Who? Maybe it'll never happen. But
it's a great question. I don't think it has to be Doctor Who. I think it's. Cause I was thinking to myself, like, you know, it's like, well, what kind of decks can you make? And I know some people are like, all like squirrels decks, all this deck, you know. So I know that is a thing, you know, or like an old ponies deck. Every card has to have a pony on it of some sort.
Yeah.
I know there's been like an upgrade list for this particular field as well, and like all the cards seem like I'm like, yeah, that probably would work really well. I think it's one of those things where I'm not going to be limited to Doctor Who, but it's nice to think about it as a Doctor Who deck. It's similar to like Dustmourn. I think like I loved in Dustmourn. There's that room mechanic of like, you unlock a room and what's this? And I'm like, oh man, that whole deck of rooms sounds really fun as you're going through a house. It'd be completely unplayable because I'll just be like going like rooms for everyone.
I don't know. I think you could make a pretty good one. I think.
Sure, there are some fun ones.
I think you could make a go of it. You just have to build it the right way.
I have to think about it. That's the thing. I'm not very good at thinking too far down the thing.
Yeah.
But no, I know. I think that if a card came up and like again, if my partner comes to me and goes, these 3 cards. I think you'd have fun with them. I'm like, great. I'd never be adverse to it, but I think it definitely would. I'd have to be prodded into it rather than me going like, that would work here. Because that's not how my brain works, unfortunately.
And it's not what you want to get out of the game. But
yet.
I love it. When you play this deck or you're playing with your friends, what are when you walk the game is done and you walk away? What are the things that you're walking away with? Like what are the parts of the game that you're like, oh, this was great? Is it just hanging out with people? Is it moments in the game? Is it playing a specific card? What about it when you walk away from it and had a good time that is like coming with you?
That's a really great question because often, or certainly in the first year or so, I'd come away going, I can't believe I didn't read the card before I put it down, and beat myself up because I didn't do something.
It still happens,
it still happens. And again, I know it gets easier, and I'm just saying, like, I can't believe I thought the card did this and it didn't do that. And then again, my partner goes, well, did you read the card? And I'm like, I did, but it changed words as I put it down.
Yeah, that's right.
So sometimes it's like when I run games, like role-playing games afterwards, all I can focus on is the stuff that I've forgotten about or forgot that one rule. But nowadays, I am trying to be more like, what was, that was a cool play that I can see that play with other people. And yeah, I do. The social aspect's always good. And we're doing stuff away from Magic now, so that we're not talking about Magic all the time, but definitely, like when we have a cool moment, and like certainly again whenever we have one of the male partners come in and we see, oh no, he's trying to trick us. What should we do? And then we're having those moments of like building up. Like I can't remember what deck I was playing. It was one of the Strixhaven decks, I think. Alex had like a deck which created lots of bugs tokens, and he had lots of bugs, and he was just going to swarm us. And I had. I can't remember the name of the card, but basically it would every time someone it was an instant card, and it was. When someone creates tokens, they would come under my control and I would double it. I flashed it in and I went, give me those bugs. And I had like 100 of these like 1/1 little bug creatures. And I felt so powerful in the moment. And like everyone was like, damn, that's a good play. And I was like, I think it was a good play. So again, like often when I come away, sometimes I'm beating myself up. But recently I'm like, oh, that was really good. And so, and I really, certainly like when I said I was going through each of the precons I have, and I've been going through the old Strixhaven ones. And I've gone away going like, oh, that was a really fun deck because of this. So I start realizing like how fun decks are, not because of like the flavor. Because again, I know not everyone in Magic's for the story,
right?
But it's how I got into it, and now I'm like, that's a really interesting. Oh, I want to play that again. which is that's the thing. I think I come away going like, that was really fun. I want to try it again to see if I can replicate that feeling, which I guess that's how you get into Magic, right? You go like, now I feel good all the time because I'm winning.
Oh, the dopamine.
Dopamine.
Exactly.
I love it. It sound like you have a few precons. Is there one that you're like, this other one is like kind of calling me?
Oh man. So like I said, so my two top ones I was playing was this one and then the Endless Punishment one. And then recently I
Which
started
is the Endless
going...
Punishment one? I'm not familiar with it.
Oh, that is the Dustmourne one.
Oh, the Dust. Okay,
Valgavoth.
right. Valgavoth.
Yes,
right.
yeah, Valgavoth, yes.
Oh, it sounds like life in 2026.
Yeah, pretty much. With Valgavoth, all it is that you just sit back and you slowly just suck everyone else dry. And you're like, oh, you drew a card? Oh, I'll take a point of damage. Oh, look, my moth gets bigger, and everyone goes, oh, I've got to kill that moth. But yeah, all the Strixhaven ones from the previous one, I know Secrets of Strixhaven's just come out, and I do have those to play. I did promise myself not to buy them, and then I was like, but what if I did buy them? And I tried.
I mean, you don't have to buy all of them. You can buy one of them. It's not like one or nothing.
But what if I don't know which one I'm good at?
You gotta try. You gotta try them all. I
gotta
guess.
try them. But yeah, like I think all the Strixhaven bar, I want to say Quandrix was were really fun. The Quandrix one just didn't pop off immediately like the other ones did, so instantly I was like, oh well. But then at the end of that particular matchup, I was like, I'll just play it again at another point, because I got to that point I'd done really well. 4 out of 5 of the decks in the previous weeks, and I was like, oh, that's really good. For me, like, I like anything that's a little bit horror, a little bit like it has that theme to it. So that's the thing that immediately draws me to precons, or it is like an IP. I know, so like I said, Doctor Who, the Dungeons and Dragons decks I've looked at, and I've definitely played 1 or 2 of them. I seem to remember, and they were also fun. I can't remember his name now, but the Mind Flayer deck, the Pirates one.
Yes.
The Mind Flayers. There you go. Mind Flayers. That was great fun. I enjoyed that one a lot.
As you get into these precons, are you gravitating towards certain colors? So I'm definitely hearing black and blue,
red,
like being the sort of colors you seem to be going to. I haven't heard a lot of like white or green.
Yeah, I definitely think black and red are the ones, which I think just because of the thematic of it. It's not because I've gone, oh yeah, it's going to be more aggro, it's going to be more this or anything like that. But I do get worried when I see a blue card come up and I'm like, oh no, it's going to be counterspelled all over again. But I think the least played ones I've done are like white and green. But again, I think it's just because in the selection of precons I have, I don't really have one. That comes to mind anyway. I might not have played it yet, but yeah.
Very cool. Well, this is great. I think we're kind of out of time here.
Yeah.
Is there anything about this deck, or just in Magic in general, that you like final thoughts on it?
Well, I can tell you the other thing I like about this deck. Sorry, I go one more thing.
Yeah,
Columbo. There's a classic in modern Doctor Who is the Weeping Angels, which everyone knows about, and I like the Weeping Angels in this deck, and the silence as well. This idea of like they don't exist when somebody's watching, so i.e. someone attacks, but then when they attack. I can't remember which card it is, but there's definitely one where you can shuffle someone's permanent into their library. As if
sending them back in time, yes.
Yeah, and I'm just there going, that's so cool. Again, it's not like a massive big hitter, but I just think it's just that threat of it being there. And again, it's very thematic. But in Magic in general, I think I'm very lucky that I have a partner that pays for my habit as well as his own.
Yeah.
We have friends that are willing to try. I think I would be less inclined to do it if it was at... Again, it's that idea of like, I have to make friends, but I will make friends with my partner's friends.
Right.
I think I've been quite lucky with what I've done. So I think it is that sort of thing of like, if you've got a bunch of friends that want to try stuff out, so like you said, if you're all chipping in for like the Strixhaven or even just the small precon, any of the precons that interest you guys and just trying it out, I think that's just the easiest way forward. And then if somebody doesn't like it, at least you've got 4 that you can give someone else to try it as well, really. And I'm sure, like I said, maybe in a year's time I'll come back to you guys and go, I've got into competitive Commander, and this is here's my top 5 tips, So, but yeah, I think I've been very lucky that I found a very supportive and like loving thing where we don't take it too seriously, but when we, but it is rammed up when somebody does a response and they do almost that sort of like, that's in response, and we do all that business. It's always a good time. So being able to add the dramatics, but at the same time being fully supportive and knowing that it's just a game at the end of the day. So
that's it. Yeah, I think the joy is finding the people that you like to play with, and then hanging out with them.
And it's an excuse to hang out. That's ultimately what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Where can people find you online if you wish them to?
Oh, if people can find me on the internet. If you type in my name to Blue Sky, FKTH, that's all my initials, I turn up on there. I play lots of role-playing games and streaming stuff. Lately, we ran Blade Runner, which was really good fun, so I'd recommend checking that out on RP Geeks. I also have various podcasts, but if you just type in my name and the link will come up and you can see all the cool things. If you want to hear me talk about D&D and how it's rubbish, that's where you can find me. We do cover like some of the supplements for D&D. So like I think at some point we're going to talk about Lorwyn Eclipse, the sort of like free supplement we got with D&D Beyond about like here's the setting and how can we put it in, and those, like we talked about Ravnica, with all the setting source books and how you can create stories in them, and so that again added to like, oh, I know what all these different factions mean and stuff. So so we do cover a little bit of magic, but mostly RPGs and telling cool stories with friends. So that's the DM's book club, so you can check that out wherever you listen to podcasts.
Great,
thank you so much.
Thank you so much. And on a final note, I will encourage you to continue using the word gray mana.
Everyone will know. Everyone will certainly know what you're talking about.
They'll tell you you're wrong, or they'll use another word for it. But it's something that I really like, and I encourage, and I want to get out there.
No one will make any weird comments about it if you call it gray mana.
I'm already weird. Like I said, like I put down a card, and they go, "I don't think you meant to put down that card," and I'm like, "You're right." So I'll blame the grey mana on that as well.
There you go.
In the brain.
But I'm happy to see it spread a little bit.
All right. Well, thanks for joining us, Fiona.
Oh, thank you.
Great. That was really cool.
It was really cool to see a new perspective on the game.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the times people are so invested and they spend so much time in it, and it can be hard to put ourselves in the shoes of someone who's just starting. So it's neat to see.
I mean, it's been a while since I was starting, and but I remember my first games. I'm like, whoa, this creature is like poisonous. This is whoa. Like this one flies, and it, and this land is like so mystical, and all of the art was so transporting, and I'm like just getting invested in the world of the game, and then playing the game itself and finding how like interactive it is, and just there's so many fun parts to it. But I think fundamentally it is like a social game. It's like even when you play competitively, you're like, yes, there's the competitive part of it, but you're still like playing with your friends to hone a deck or talking about it, strategizing. You have a team of people usually that you're collaborating with on it. So there's something about it, the game, that appeals to people. If you can get past like the learning curve, which is admittedly incredibly steep,
extremely steep curve.
It's hard to get in, but
more hard L shape than learning curve.
Yeah, learning wall.
Yeah,
it's like a step. If someone boosts you up the step, it's a really fun plateau to be on, I think.
Sounds great. All right, let's go play pickleball.
Let's go play pickleball.
We're literally going to play pickleball.
We are literally going to play pickleball after this recording. Well, you can find us on Blue Sky and YouTube as Untapped Libraries, as well as Moxfield, where all of our guests' deck lists are available. Our music is by Sparkling Water. You can find all of their music wherever you get your streams. Untapped Libraries is a proud part of the Podcavern Network, found at podcavern.com. If you have any questions, comments, or time-traveling telephone boxes, we can be reached at untappedlibraries@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and keep building.
Hello, folks. I'm Katie.
I'm Vinny.
And we host the Learn Real Good podcast.
It's a comedy podcast about science.
It's also a science podcast with comedy.
Each episode, we interview a science grad student about their research.
And we keep it casual, so you don't need to be a nerd to follow along.
We also share some of the latest science news.
I think you mean the latest science news.
Well, people need to hear more about amphibians.
Well, I agree with that. So look us up on your favorite podcast source and
Learn Real Good. Presented by the Podcavern Network.
Close enough.